Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about every single book I rated 5 stars in 2024. I actually had quite a disappointing reading year for 5 stars this year. I only had 15 5-star reads, which sounds like a lot, but when you put it into comparison, I read 250 books this year. That's like 1 5-star every 17 books. So I wish I had more. I'm hoping in 2025 I will have more, but for now we're just going to talk about the 15 that I did rate 5 stars. This will be spoiler free, of course, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about them and why I love them so much. So let's get straight into it. The first book I rated 5 stars in 2024 was The Teacher by Freida McFadden. I love Freida McFadden. She is a thriller author. Every single time her new releases come out, me and Elle over on Instagram will buddy read them, and every single time we think we figured it out, we think we're so smart. I don't think we've ever been right once. So fun to be kept on your toes throughout a whole book. I will say this was, I think, one of her darkest books. Obviously from The Teacher you can tell maybe what that means. There's a lot of conversations about adults in places of power being inappropriate with children, and it does get messed up, very messed up. So please check content warnings. Check content warnings for most of these. There's quite a few thrillers in here, but it was a whirlwind and I rated 5 stars. If you're new here, you might not know, that is my dog over there, Pepsi. I think she might be off frame. She is deaf and she can't hear how loud she's snoring right now. So if you think you can hear snoring in the background, you're right, you can. But I can't do anything about it, and I'm not going to keep her awake because that would be mean. So she's elderly and she's deaf. She's going to make a bit of background noise. Sorry in advance. The second book I rated 5 stars was Gerald's Game by Stephen King. I read this in a vlog. This video ends when I find a 5-star read. This was said 5-star read. This is so psychologically messes with your mind. Again, check content warnings. This is about a couple that go to the woods in this cabin in the middle of nowhere. The husband handcuffs her to the bed naked. He ends up dying on top of her, and now she's stuck in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with a dead body on her. She can't scream for help. There's no cell phone or anything, and she's literally tied to the bed so she can't get up. And it is basically, you're watching this woman losing her mind. It is really scary and creepy and messed up. And for some reason that means I rated it 5 stars. Sometimes when I make these videos I wonder about my sanity. And then I'm pretty sure I read these two back to back, but the third book was Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. These books are linked through a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse happens basically, and they're both in similar places when it happens. And there's a moment in the book when the lunar eclipse happens that links them both. I won't tell you what it is, obviously, but it was, again, messed up. This is a book about Dolores Claiborne, and the whole thing is basically an interview with the police where she is talking them through how she killed her husband. But it's not what you think. It is not what you think. It is, again, really messed up. Stephen King writes horror, so he doesn't shy away from creepiness, but it was just so good. Then we have another thriller, None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Lisa Jewell is one of the first authors I started reading when I got back into reading in 2020. Her books are always so good, so fast-paced. I think I read them all in one sitting, and this one was no different. This has got a true crime podcast in it, and the audiobook is so good because they have a bunch of different narrators. This is about 2 women who randomly meet and figure out it's both of their birthdays, so they call each other birthday twin. One of them has a podcast and she wants to interview her birthday twin basically and hear this woman's life story. And her life story is messed up. It is creepy. It is very freaky, very tense, on the edge of your seat moments, and really good. We have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I love me some Ali Hazelwood. She is so fun. This is her take on a paranormal romance where there's werewolves and vampires, and it was so fun. It's definitely heavy romance. It's arranged marriage. A vampire that was put in the human world has to go and marry a werewolf to keep the peace between the treaties, basically. There's also a subplot of mystery because her friend has gone missing. It is so good. I loved it so much. It was so fun. Next up we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I adore Abby Jimenez's writing so much, and the premise of this book was so good, and the way it linked to the other books in the series had me sobbing. Starts with a Reddit thread, "Am I the asshole?" thing. Basically, this guy says every time he dates someone and they break up, that person then goes on to meet the love of their life and get married, and he feels like he's cursed. And then this girl responds to it and says she has the exact same issue. So they said, what if we date and break up? Then it will cancel out each other's curses, and we'll go on to find the loves of our lives. So we're gonna go on 4 dates, 1 kiss, 1 breakup. But of course, it doesn't just end like that. Oh my gosh, I love both these characters so much. The way this connects to part of your world had me sobbing. Like I said, the found family in this book is insane. I loved it so much. Please read this. Then we have another Frida McFadden book. We have The Housemaid is Watching. This is the 3rd book in the Housemaid series, and I think I agree with what Elle said to me when my baddie read this. She said this feels like Frida McFadden again, and I agree. I just love this, like, these characters by now. I love it. I can't tell you really anything about it because it's the 3rd book in a series, but it was really good. Again, content warnings, please check them. I don't have anything else to say about this other than I loved it. Okay, we've had a bit of a change of scenery. We're now in my new little book corner that I've made in my room. Okay, let's continue with the video. The next book I rated 5 stars was Shari Lapina's latest release, What Have You Done? What I'm realising from this is most of the books I've rated highly are thrillers, because I am a thriller girly through and through. So maybe I should read more, even more thrillers in 2025, because the majority of these are thrillers. Okay, What Have You Done by Shari Lapina. If you're not new here, you will know I adore Shari Lapina's writing so much. She's a thriller author again, and she writes the best twists and turns. This is about a woman. Actually, she's a teenager. She's a girl. She's still in school. She's a teenage girl. She's found dead. They're obviously trying to figure out who did it. There are the suspects. There's other people from school where you get their points of views, her friends. But also, you're kind of getting her point of view, almost as if she's having like an out-of-body experience, and she doesn't know that she's dead. She's like, why is everyone so upset? Blah, 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 stuff like that. It's not like a paranormal thriller. The only paranormal aspect is you're getting her point of view as well, but there's nothing like actually going on, like her ghost or anything. It was... Oh, I just love Shari Lapina's writing so much. She can do no wrong in my eyes. We have The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett, another author I love. All of her books are different types of mixed media. So we have some that are like a group project, so all of the book is through different emails and WhatsApp groups and chat message boards and stuff like that. This one is 200 audio recordings from a phone that they found from near the body of a dead boy or something, and you're getting this crazy story that this guy who is, you can't figure out whether you're going to trust him or not because he was in jail. He did some really weird drug lord stuff, so you don't even know whether you can trust him, but he's the only point of view you're getting, and it's all told through like transcripted audio files. Just so good. Like audio files, batch number 7. Some of it is inaudible, some of it is like voice 2 and you don't know who the voice is, and oh my goodness, this is insane. The fact that how the whole book comes together. This woman is a mastermind. That is what pushed it from a 4.5 to a 5, the ending, and figuring out that throughout this whole book, the whole book is basically a code. And it is crazy how clever this woman is. Oh my goodness. So good. The Boyfriend by, you guessed it, Frida McFadden. This one was really good. This one was so good. There's a guy who's a killer who starts to date his victims before he kills them. And this girl's friend has just been on a date and then been found dead, and she's like, oh my god, she's been killed, like, by the boyfriend, and her boyfriend must be the killer, but who the hell's her boyfriend? They don't know because she was very secretive about it. I thought I'd figured this out so many times. I think I figured out a couple of minor things, but the big stuff, I was still wrong. I was still so wrong. Me and Ellen used the buddy read system on Storygraph for this book, and it was so fun. Like, as I was updating my progress, I could see her comments, so we didn't have to worry about spoiling anything. Oh my goodness. This was insane. Then we have a surprise one for me. I tried to pick this book up a couple times in the beginning of the year, and I think the end of last year, honestly. Couldn't get over the main character swearing so much. And then Hot House Flower quickly became my favourite book so far in the series, guys. This is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series by Krista and Rebecca Ritchie. This is Ryke and Daisy's book. They were, before this book, my least favourite couple, because they weren't even a couple before this book. And also, I hated the fact that Ryke's only personality trait was him swearing every other word. So I was like, I do not want to be in this guy's head, in this guy's point of view. I ate this book up. They're now my favourite couple. This is my favourite book in the series. I'm so excited to read more about their love story. Like, this was so good. This series is like a character study, honestly. It is so, the found family aspect is so amazing. And I loved this so much. We're back to thrillers and horror, honestly, with Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. Guys, oh my goodness. This is so good. Don't read this on audio, okay? Because there's pictures throughout the whole book. Like, if you're going to listen to the audiobook, that's fine. Get the physical book too, okay? Because you need to get the experience of the drawings. So this is about a woman who nannies for this rich family over the summer. She used to be a drug addict, which is important. She's sober now, but when she was a drug addict, she used to get like suffer with like false memories and memory loss and stuff like that. That will become important as I continue further on. I'm not just calling her out for being an ex-drug addict. So she goes to nanny for this rich family with one son. And he likes to draw pictures of him and his imaginary friend, right? The imaginary friend in the pictures is very clearly dead. And as you get further along in the book, the pictures get more and more freaky and messed up, and the fact that it's a kid drawing all of them just adds like a level of scariness. I'm obviously not going to show you the pictures because I don't want to spoil anything, but oh, I could tear up thinking about the ending as well. But the whole point is she doesn't know if she's doubting the weird things that are going on or not, because she's struggled with false memories before. So she's like, did I just remember this wrong? Even though I'm clean, am I still suffering like after effects of my past? So you doubt whether what's going on is actually real or not. I love books like that. I love like unreliable narrator books because you don't even know if what you're reading is real. We've got Cackle by Rachel Harrison. Rachel Harrison is one of my favourite authors. Again, she writes like horror, but it's more comedic. Like there's like lighthearted and funny bits in with it. This is a witch story. I read it at Christmas time, which was the wrong season, I think, but it didn't matter. Book is about a woman that is going through like a really long-term relationship breaking up. So she moves to this different place and she comes across this woman who is a little bit strange, a little bit weird. If you couldn't tell from the title, she's a witch. Is she a witch? Is she not a witch? Because this horror is kind of realism horror. It's not supernatural. Their friendship is really weird. And messed up, kind of. But this was just so much fun. I had such a good time. It was so good. I recommend anything from Rachel Harrison. So these last two books are the first time I've read them in a series that is all 5-star reads. So I do have quite a lot of rereads this year that were 5 stars, but I'm not counting them. These are only like books I'm reading for the first time in 2024. But if you aren't new, you'll already know, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. My favourite series of all time is the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Derek Landy. I started it as a child and I still read the new releases as they come out. I reread this series every single year around Christmas time. Every single one is 5 stars. It is like low fantasy, it's got humour, it's got darkness, it's got so much. The sarcasm is unmatched in the book and it's set in Ireland. Anyway, book 16. It was the first time that I read it this year. Mind Full of Murder. This book was so good. Yeah, 16 book series. I've been reading them since the first few were coming out. I reread them and then obviously read book 16 for the first time. This book was 5 stars. Of course it was. Every single book in the series is 5 stars. This was no different. I adored it so much. This series is like a warm hug. And then I finally got round to actually listening to and reading along physically the Grimoire even. This is basically just a bunch of extra information about all the different books, so I wouldn't read it until you've read all 15. You don't need to read book 16, but you should read it. And it's told, there's like its own story throughout it, but there's a bunch of different pictures of like the different creatures and stuff in here, and a bunch of the different characters. Like so many pictures, which is why you should like have the physical copy too. But the audiobook was so good, and like I said, this has its own story with the different like archivists that are like building this book, and this book's like in the sanctuary, and this is like supposed to be basically like in the fictional world, this is supposed to be a physical book, and it's like been brought to life. But the storyline going through it, like the fact that this is just supposed to be a bunch of information but it still has a story, is so good. I love this so much, and anything from this world will get read by me. Oh my goodness. So those are the 15 books that I rated 5 stars in 2024. Please let me know what you rate 5 stars this year, because I need some more good reads for 2025. I want there to be more than 15, okay? I want there to be more, or at least more than a 1 in 17 chance. Flippin' heck. That's all from me. There's going to be a lot more coming from me in the new year. Like I've said many times at the end of my videos recently, I'm going to try and post more than once a week. So if you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell down below if you want to get notified when I upload. But that's all from me. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in another video. Bye!